Okay, so I'm doing a quick video. I've been putting tea tree oil on my face so you guys can hopefully see a bit of a difference. I've been switching out quotes that I had as thumbnails and other evidence as thumbnails for actual screenshots of me doing the video. So they're really upset. Their emotional state today is very upset. So I think what happened is their lies caught up with them. In a previous video, I didn't know what the word is when people get caught, but that's pretty much how it looks like. Their lies caught up with them. So they're now trying to make themselves more important in my life than they ever were. They were never that important in my life. And that's part of what I'm saying. There's something in this that feels like people who wanted to be more important to me and never did the work to be important to me are now trying to insert themselves into my life. So they said they keep trying to find an example of a time that I may have done that. I don't. So they use an example of, I told you about the kids who I used to buy the clothes for, that I tried to insert myself in their lives. I never have, and they know that. So what they try to do is find an example in my life that will make it seem like I did the same things they did. I do not, and I did not. I'm trying to find a way of filing criminal charges against the people involved. Someone asked me a good question. Do I have all the information, or I'm still trying to get more information? I'm always trying to get more information. I think a criminal charge will be the only way. So they're going to make it hard for me, nearly impossible. But I know for a fact the people who have been stalking me will have more answers. So this is the only way to get more answers. Partially, if this was something that was happening for all these years, there would be money exchange. There would be ways that this was being done that other people would know. Why is it a secret? Oh, because it's illegal. So they said they were invading my privacy for all these years. So then they knew the lies were lies. When they're trying to come up with some way of making this seem like it was legal or they heard something wrong. If you heard something wrong, you're supposed to call the police or notify someone. You didn't. You didn't hear anything wrong. They even said it over and over again that they admitted I wasn't doing anything wrong. So the other big deal about that is that when I'm talking about trying to make themselves more significant in my life, they said that if they could find one instance of something, it will clear it. No, it doesn't. I'm going to give you an example of why that makes no sense. And this is clearly someone who isn't making any sense. If you say, I never drink orange juice, but you're in the hospital and the doctor says, you have to take this medicine with orange juice. You say, well, I never drink orange juice. After you take the medicine with orange juice because you were told to, you can still say, I never drink orange juice. Just because you drank it one time because you had to doesn't mean you drink orange juice. And they don't seem to understand that. They want to make a world that they created to insert me into legitimate. It will never be legitimate. This will always be illegitimate. They didn't like when I said that because they felt, and this is the example they use, that children out of wedlock are illegitimate. I gave an example that that is not always the case. We already know that. But this is the mindset that they have. They're liars, but they're also people who use emotional abuse to manipulate. I did a whole thing about manipulation and how they're very manipulative. But now that we tie it to emotional abuse, you can see how that would kind of make someone say, whoa, we don't like the word illegitimate. Well, it's not addressing p- people. So all of their ways of coming up with something, it makes absolutely no sense. So I'm going to go over something else that they've been talking about. They said, well, if I hadn't seen Father McShane since 2004, but possibly exchanged emails between 2004 and 2011, then I can't say I didn't have contact with him. Partially why that's not important is we haven't seen each other since 2004. We haven't been in contact really. So what I'm saying is I'm going to keep looking for more paperwork to see, well, if I find something. But if you're not in touch with someone and maybe you exchange an email over the course of 6 years or something, that's still not a relationship. So why does this bother me? What bothers me about this is that they keep trying to find ways to to make their role in this less significant, but make themselves significant in my life. Does that make any sense? No. You can't have it both ways. You can't say you've been a part of my life, and then when I prove, well, you really haven't, then, oh, no, that was an email was sent. Maybe there were two. In 6 years, you can't have it both ways. I graduated in 1995. I need people in my life who are significant in my life to play a significant role in my life. Once the book was published with my name, I should have been called immediately. I should have been told about it. That would have been significant. You can't say, oh, well, over the course of since 1995 till now, you're significant because we've exchanged emails, or maybe we've seen each other once in that time frame. It's ridiculous. I'm not even going to argue that point. It's just like the orange juice example. You can't pretend to be significant to me and then watch all of this happen to me and help the people doing it. You're not cloning me. And I said this in my apartment when they were doing this. You're cloning someone fighting. I'm fighting for my life. I'm trying to get my face back because at one point my face it wasn't recognizable. It was not you. It was unrecognizable. I'm trying to find the words that normally I told you guys I write and you guys know it. Words used to come easily to me. For me to keep struggling for words, there's a problem. So the next part of this lie is that now, I go like this a lot with my nose, like most people. They're like, your nose will get bigger. I have to put that as the title. This is a lie. They say, I don't know, your ears and your nose continue to grow. But doing this to your nose does not make your nose grow. They said years ago, someone said that if you're black and you do this to your nose, it'll become a pointy nose. This is what makes the nose pointy. You see this? This is something here. I'm not going to lie and change my race for these people. This is something. Okay? So they said a tinted nose. What's a tinted nose? I don't know. But this here is what keeps the nose shape. My nose isn't going to change its shape because I go like this. People go like this all the time and their noses aren't huge. Who cares if my nose gets huge? Why is this an issue? Here's the answer to that. Because they wanted to come up with a way of stealing my identity and giving it to someone else. So they would have to find someone with the same type of facial features, the same type of background. But because I was already known, and this is why the book information seems strange, I was already known, and I'm also Shamiga in the book. There's a Johnson in the book. So the name Shamiga Johnson was used in the book, and we've already gone over that repeatedly, and they're still on that one. It's topiary. It's the topiary thing. I call everything that they go over and over and over and over again topiary at this point. Because the name Shamiga and Johnson are used in the book, you wouldn't be able to steal my identity. Like I said, you can't have everyone as Shamiga Johnson. Once they found out, they mentioned just now that I was in Saudi Arabia, a connection to terrorism would exist. So that would mean I would have to be thoroughly vetted, meaning here I am, Shamiga Johnson, someone who was used in a book. So I'm a character in a book. I was in Saudi Arabia in 1995, and then there was this whole terrorism threat that comes up. So all these things would come up. It would be hard for anyone to steal my identity. Now that I'm also on YouTube talking about this happening, it's even harder. So when they're going back and forth, they're saying, well, I'm not always consistent. It would be hard to be spoken to 24/7 for years now. So multiply 365 times at least since 2016. So you're talking about all of these years of being spoken to, plus the physical changes that you saw occur to me, plus their lies. There would be no one who could come up with my life story as well as I could. Even if that person looks at over 2,400 videos to come up with my life story, they'll never be able to. So there will be no way anyone can pass this by claiming my life story. They said that they were using someone to come up with what happened. She doesn't know. That's my whole point. This is the whole answer to this. She doesn't know. Neither does the other person. And when they're going back and forth and coming up with the lies, and she's not matching it, it's never going to pass. Thank you for watching.